Hello, and welcome to Riddles in the Dark, where I endeavor to learn the rules of the One Ring 2nd edition role-playing game by Free League Publishing. On die roll modifiers. There are a number of variations upon the core rules of the game, and they represent boons or drawbacks, advantages or disadvantages as described in other RPGs, like Dungeons & Dragons, that impact the player heroes as the most explicit demonstration of their heroic stature in the game world. Let's take a look at what's called favored roles. Experienced role game players will recognize the term advantage, where if a character is in a situation that gives them an advantage, as the term suggests, to complete a task action with a bonus. In the One Ring, that is called a favored role, and represents the player or hero's ability to possess a special affinity for a task. When making a favored roll, players roll 2 feat dice instead of 1, keeping the best result among the two. Check out my video on making rolls that describes about feat dice. Typically, favored rolls are made for player hero skills, and several of what's called cultural virtues, abilities that set a hero's capability beyond their usual reach of a non-player hero. We'll cover more on skills and virtues in a later video. Ill-favored rolls. Commonly referred to disadvantage in other RPGs, ill-favored rolls in the One Ring RPG are for when player heroes suffer from some limitation to the ability to do a task or action. When making an ill-favored roll, players roll 2 feat dice, like the favored roll, but instead of taking the best result, the player hero must choose the worst result among the 2 that were made. This result represents the result of some adverse effect or special ability of an adversary or flaw experienced by the player hero. Page 20 of the core rulebook highlights a special note regarding favored and ill-favored or ill-favored player heroes. It is possible for a roll to be both favored and ill-favored for different conflicting reasons. When this does happen, the roll is resolved normally. Roll only 1 feat die, even if multiple sources would make a roll favored and only one would make it ill-favored, or vice versa. In regards to ill-favored player heroes, at times an ability of an adversary or another special rule may directly make a player hero ill-favored. Instead of specifying a particular roll, when this happens, the unlikely adventurer is considered ill-favored on all rolls. For example, player heroes whose shadow score matches their maximum hope are considered to be ill-favored on all rolls. Again, we'll touch up more on hope and shadow in later videos. On bonus success dice. As described in the video on making rolls, success dice is rolled in conjunction with the feat die in figuring out the result of a skill, action, or other test. Just as situations grant either a favored or ill-favored roll as described earlier, situations give players the ability to roll extra or bonus success dice. These situations represent player heroes to be attempting something under favorable conditions or employing a particularly beneficial talent. Bonuses are indicated in the test as gain 1d or more, meaning that player heroes enjoying the modifier add 1 success die to those that are entitled to roll for an action. Generally, bonus success dice are gained by spending hope or as the effect of a number of cultural virtues. Hope bonuses. As you can see on the player hero sheet, you'll see in a box in the heart column that is called Hope. Hope is represented by a number calculated during the creation of the player hero as a pool of points. This pool is the reserve of spiritual vigor that heroes draw from when confronted by difficult odds or when a particularly good result is required by the situation. A player hero about to make a die roll can spend 1 point of hope to gain 1d worth of bonus success dice. Hope can be spent to gain dice on any roll made by the player hero. It is, however, not possible to spend any more than 1 point to gain multiple bonus success dice, and you have to spend the point of hope before making the die roll. Hope is not an unlimited resource, and it takes quite a significant amount of in-game time to recover, so must be used wisely, as having a low hope can have detrimental effects on one's player hero. We'll cover more about hope and its effects in a later video. Inspiration. Player heroes at times can be inspired. Inspired player heroes double the benefit of spending hope points. If a player hero is inspired, and that player hero spends 1 point of hope, the player hero gains 2 bonuses of success dice, 2d, instead of the normal 1 bonus success dice when spending hope, 1d. Inspiration can be achieved mainly through a distinctive feature, or as an effect of a number of cultural virtues that the character player hero would have. Support. There are times in the company when one player hero will or can help another make a skill roll. When this happens, the supporting character spends 1 point of their hope to let the active player gain 1 bonus success dice, 1d. A player hero may only support another only if the circumstances allows, and only if the supporting hero possesses at least 1 rank in the appropriate skill. Also, only 1 player hero can support the active or target player hero in making the roll. Penalty success dice. Just as there are bonuses, there are also penalties to the amount of success dice rolled. This represents when player heroes are not in a fortunate situation or something seems to conspire against them, puts themselves in danger to achieve a certain outcome, or may have fallen victim to some malicious spell or power. Penalties are normally indicated in the text as lose 1d or more, meaning that a player hero rolls fewer success dice, down to a minimum of 0 success dice. We'll cover more on the situations that player heroes may face when they are penalized in a later video. On magical success. Artifacts like magic rings and cloaks, ancient spells, or uncanny spells can allow a player hero to exceed the possibility of mere mortals. If a player hero possesses a magical talent or artifact, they can spend 1 point of hope before a skill roll to achieve a magical success. The player hero passes their action automatically, regardless of the corresponding target number achieved. In game terms, the player hero only rolls the number of success dice to check for higher degrees of success, but disregards the numerical total obtained. Narratively, a magical success is an outcome that can hardly be considered ordinary. The player hero has only been able to succeed and not be able to accomplish without a supernatural aid. Magical abilities and the artifacts are not so subtle, and they may draw unwanted attention onto the player hero and the company as a whole. We'll cover more on this later in a video dealing with eye awareness. This ends the video on die roll modifiers, and we'll look at more of the rules for the One Ring RPG in later videos. If you found the video helpful and informative, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you for watching. Cheers.